met Garth Brooks, says he was a strange dude. Now, my first question was, on a big tour like this, could Garth really just slip away? The authors asked Mr. Thomas the same question, and he said, oh, yeah, man. Most of the artists never even leave their bus. No one ever hardly sees them. Garth could have easily grabbed a car and taken off for a few hours. No one's going to notice, and if they do, they're not going to question Garth Brooks, or they're not going to have a job.
Oh, brother.
Well, on May 31, 1991, in the middle of his first tour, just after 11 p.m. in Phoenix, where Garth was, everything was already in place at the Coliseum. Garth had left, and in Lindo Park, several young men were in their front yard along South 19th Avenue.
Tripping on a glow stick.
Interestingly, they were listening to Johnny Cash. A vehicle approached, rolled down the window, fired at the young men. Stephen Portillo was shot dead. Garth's convoy stopped next in Tinley, Illinois, where Tammy Zawicki, 21-year-old, departed her mother's house just across the state line in Illinois, going to college in Iowa.
I don't ever really...
Along the exact route that Garth's convoy was traveling.
Based on how
she never made it. Did she swing into a rest stop for a bathroom break, a quick bite to eat, catch the eye of Garth while he and the crew made a pit stop? What we do know is that on August 23rd, she left for college. It was reported she was seen around 3:30 on Interstate 80 at the mile marker 83 rest area in Illinois. The parking lot was full of tractor trailers, some of which happened to be the tractor trailers of Garth Brooks' traveling show. And what we do know is that a man approached Tammy, 6'1", dark hair, which described exactly Garth Brooks at that time.
Yeah, I've done a majority.
And the following day, she didn't go to college.
How have you been, buddy?
The police found her vehicle abandoned at the rest stop. And on September 1992, her body was found
I'm a little bit
along Interstate 44 in Missouri,
What about you?
which just happened to be the route of Garth's concerts. She was stabbed to death, and near the body,
makes me happy.
there was found a copy of Garth Brooks' CD, No Fences. Then December 92, just a few hours after Garth took the stage at Wright State University, 22-year-old Gregory Netter, walking through a neighborhood a short drive from Garth's concert venue. Vehicle with a lone driver drives up behind him, shoots Gregory, hitting him, running him over. He bled to death on his way to the hospital. Within an hour of that shooting, Kayla Boring murdered in her own home by what police said was a male intruder. Once again, like in Kansas City, like he would in Kansas City, Garth arrived late, rushed through his pep talk, and then he really killed it that night. The success of No Fences led to the release of Rope in the Wind in 1991, The Chase, Pieces, and Sevens. That's why the ebook will be $7. A potentially sinister side opines that these titles might lend proof to Garth's motives. No Fences. I made this up. This wasn't in the book. This came to me. No Fences, suggesting his hard-won freedom to be who he truly is. Rope in the Wind, suggesting his acceptance and embrace of his dark passenger. The Chase, reflecting the thrill of the hunt for his victims. And in Pieces, well, that speaks for itself, doesn't it? And is Sevens a Bible Belt-born homage to the 7 deadly sins, including lust, which we know Garth was heavily involved in by lawsuits, and it may be a bit of a confession from the singer. Deborah says friends in low places always made her feel dark and heavy.
Hell yeah.
Ooh, Arian Blondie, nice to see you. KNJC, great to see you as well. Ratface Eugene, great to see
I got
you.
it back, babe.
Janice Soprano used to
Yay,
do
your
nicer
two
things
blueprints.
to roadies.
I got my blueprint
Valkyrie
back
Freya,
finally.
great to see you
Yay.
as well. The Chase, maybe another crew. So, now we get Garth Brooks' first world tour. Began at the Forum in Inglewood, California. Was on the road in the U.S. for 11 months. Just before departing for Europe, Garth's fleet rolled through Memphis.
Babe, that scared
The
the shit
very
out of me.
night that Garth got there, 28-year-old John Creek
That kid
after
was
having dinner
flying,
with a
he
friend,
didn't even have a fucking salt in
was
it.
dropped off at his car in a parking lot directly across the street from the Pyramid staging
That was
area. Not the
literally
Pyramid,
just
but the
directed
staging area
there.
where Garth was.
Flying.
And John Creek was never seen again. Garth had reached legendary status. He bought himself a plane, a Dassault Falcon 900,
Reload.
which features a baggage compartment of 127 cubic feet, more than enough for a dozen large suitcases or several large trunks, Jimbus Maximus. In average conditions, by the way, decomposition of a body usually takes about 48 hours to begin. You wouldn't even begin to notice the stink for about 3 to 5 days, according to the FBI research database. And that's more than enough time to say Garth fly home from an event, land at the Nashville airport, move his trunks out to that property in Goodlettsville. Just saying. Garth insists to fly to every single event, including award shows in his own plane. Makes me wonder a little bit, especially upon learning that over a dozen individuals have disappeared or ended up murdered in the cities hosting the award shows that Garth has attended, corresponding with every single time he attended a award show starting in April 25th, 1990 with the Country Music Association Awards at the Pantages Theater in LA, where Garth walked away with 6 awards right up to the writing of this book this year. Wow. Consistent with those ceremonies, Jürgen Stockberger, William Blanco, Francisco Sanchez, Lisa Knox, Kung Jaha, all ended up missing persons. At least Garth is very inclusive in his activities. There's also Charles Radis and Juliana Jones. And this doesn't even count Renee Yanez, who disappeared from LA while Garth was in town to sing the national anthem at the Super Bowl. Other missing persons along Garth's interview and appearance path include Michael Eddy, Cecilia Newball, and Renee Perez, not to mention, wow, Stephen Clark and Burt Dollars, who disappeared forever just blocks from the LA studios of the Howard Stern Show, coincidentally at the very time Garth was there for an interview. But wait, there's more. Fernando Valenzuela, not the pitcher. Kenneth Bush, Gregory Tackett, Catherine Minningham, and Suzanne Lyle. And then in 2025, 2 people went missing while Garth was attending the Country Music Association's awards. An additional person was murdered. What does the dance mean? That's a good one. So never feel sorry for a man with the plane. In between just the People's Choice and the Billboard Music Awards over the last 20 years, an additional 3 persons and 4 murders unsolved at the events that Garth attended. Morgan Harris shot in the head, stuffed in the trunk of his own car, driven to and abandoned in the parking lot of University Medical Center, 3 miles away from the MGM Grand Arena in Las Vegas where the awards were held, and less than 2 miles from Garth's hotel. And then Garth was gone on board his own jet. What was in the luggage area? As we said, in 1990, Garth bought that 300-acre piece of property. There was a spike in missing persons and unsolved murders in the Nashville area after Garth bought his land. And not just a little bitty spike, not just a medium spike, but a spike so big that Floyd Clark, acting director of the FBI, noted in the Nashville paper, I forget what it's called, Over the last 3 years, there's been a notable increase in missing persons cases. The same 3 years that Garth had been in ownership of that property in Goodlettsville. Now, ooh, Jimbus Maximus. I wonder if that truck stop was an oasis. Yeah, I got friends in low places. I can't get as high as Garth. And for many serial killers, killing's only part of the thrill. Many like to prolong the fantasy by interacting with the corpses after death. For these predators, victims become objects of possession, control, and even twisted affection. Then again, a controlled dumping environment would serve as an outstanding forensic countermeasure for any active serial killer. Shortly after Garth brought the massive property, Pamela Mitchell, 30, vanished after buying a spicy chicken sandwich at Crystal. She hasn't been seen or heard from since. Is she buried somewhere on Garth's property? Larisha Walker, Mamie Johnson also went missing under similar circumstances, vanished without a trace. Now, if that's not enough, Diana Miner, 54, disappeared after locking up her second-story cafe in Nashville one evening. Her body was then discovered in the Cumberland River the following day. If Garth did it, why did he throw the body in the river? What went wrong? I guess the bigger question is, why didn't he control his compulsion to kill? Let's assume for a minute that Garth Brooks is the serial killer, said Agent Jim DiOrio. A 300-acre piece of property is a hell of a hiding place. Well, 2 days after Garth's 5-night stand in the Omni in Atlanta, 22-year-old Branville Roll disappeared. Neighbors told the Georgia Bureau of Investigation that he was a huge country music fan and he was leaving his house with a man that he seemed very familiar and friendly with. Did Garth use a celebrity to lure Roll into his vehicle? Well, Branville hasn't been seen or heard from since. Over the next 18 months of concerts, 2 unsolved murders, 4 missing person cases. Doris Nzunza, 41.
Oh my God, that's my aunt! He just said my aunt's
Jane
name
Doe,
in one of the
discovered
missing
in
Garth
County,
Brooks
Texas.
people.
Really?
Forensics estimate
Yeah.
death to be
Your
the same
fucking
week that
aunt?
Garth had played
Doris
at
Nzunza,
the summit.
41, a Hispanic woman. Oh my God.
Your
Oh my
Your
fucking.
aunt might
Wow,
have been
right?
killed by Garth
Wow.
Brooks? What the
Can we get a little esoteric
I'm not laughing
now?
at your aunt being
Can
killed.
we get a
What the
little
fuck?
esoteric
I'm just
now?
saying, that's
And
really
yet,
rare.
here you are watching me, Ratface. Can we
That's
get a
mad
little
random,
esoteric
babe.
now?
What the fuck?
Can we
Your
talk a little
aunt's
bit about serial
connected to the
killers and
fucking
demonic possession?
Garth Brooks case.
What the fuck?
Many
I just
serial
heard that
killers
man
have claimed to
say
be
my
possessed
aunt's
by
name.
demon spirits. Others claim to communicate with the devil and demons, like Berkowitz the dog.
I need to rewind that. Oh my God.
It seems certain that dissociative identity disorder is at least fairly common, which makes a roadie's account of an incident with Garth Brooks very, very fascinating. Richard Thomas told the authors one night they had just finished taking down the rigging. They're walking past Garth's trailer, and they hear this hellacious argument going on. Yearwood's not there. His ex-wife's not there. Nobody's traveling with Garth. He's in his trailer having this huge argument. So naturally, they run. They look in the windows like, what the hell's going on, right? They heard 2 voices. They're arguing back and forth about lyrics to a song. They look in.